listening to the Shite Talk podcast show. Shut up and sit down.
Welcome once again to the Shite Talk podcast show. Mark and Ken.
What's up?
On episode 233 of the Shite Talk podcast show.
233.
And it's our St. Patrick's Day special.
That it is.
We will try to get this also out to you on St. Patrick's Day, so you'll be able to hear it in your ears on St. Patrick's Day, whatever you're doing.
That's a big ask, Mark.
Yeah, I do also have to apologise, Ken.
Go on, what did you do now?
Last week, I called last week's show 233, I think.
Okay.
And I even think at one stage it went down in our podcast as 233. I've since rectified this. So it's in case people were like, oh, we already listened to 233. No, you didn't. It was 232. It felt like 233.
In typical Mark fashion.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how many too many people have actually noticed, because I don't know if people necessarily just look at the numbers too much, or was it just like the really catchy titles?
It's the really catchy titles, obviously.
Yeah, the really catchy titles. Who would never forget a podcast called Make It Stop?
Make it stop.
Yeah, Ken, by the way, Ken doesn't listen to this podcast when it's released, or he doesn't actually even look on the social media of what the podcast is called. He literally comes in as a personality, and that's it.
I see what it's called every now and then. You know when those fucking bots comment on posts.
Oh yeah, you get like a little notification going, "Hey guys, if you want to promote your podcast."
Yeah, I'm really tempted to just start like commenting back and saying, fuck off.
Yeah. No. We like our podcast the way it is, thank you. Yeah. So it is St. Patrick's Day. Is this like your favourite time of the year? Or second, because Halloween's your favourite time of the year.
Halloween's my favourite.
Yeah, and then how does St. Patrick's Day rank in kind of it for you?
So there's two types of the year for me. There's Halloween and there's not Halloween.
Yeah. This is not Halloween then.
So this is not Halloween.
All right. And are you the kind of person that is like, I'm just going to stay in here. I am not leaving my house for St. Patrick's Day because it will be awful outside? Or are you the one who's like, I am going to the parade, I'm going to paint my face green, and I am going to embody a shamrock?
I'm not really arsed.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I used to always go out for Paddy's Day, but I couldn't be arsed anymore.
You actually met Aideen on St. Patrick's Day.
That I did.
So this must be a kind of special day for you. Do you ever kind of do anything to go back to the same pub, or
no?
You don't do anything romantically. All right, cool. Yeah,
there's not much you can really do.
Yeah, I was actually meant to meet my girlfriend on St. Patrick's Day last year, but then obviously lockdowns, and we're like, there will be too many guards. We'd have to jump over too many wired fences. It won't be worth it. I'm not going to prison for you, was her words.
Were those your exact words?
Exact words. I will not do time for you. And I'm still with her, so she obviously has very, very low expectancy of men.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm actually planning on going out today in town. I'm going to embrace the St. Patrick's, because it's been 2 years since we had a parade. I won't be at the parade now. I won't be that much in St. Patrick's Day, but I'll be at the pub.
I don't like occasions because there's too many bastards out.
I like occasions. I like being kind of swept up in things. I like being part of some big thing. So I kind of like that when it is a busy thing, for New Year's, for instance. I like being at a busy place where everyone's counting down not St. Patrick's, New Year's Eve, and everyone's just so excited to be there. I hate being in your local bar where you go every week, seeing the same faces with shitty remixes of Irish songs, and everybody's just wearing a bit more green than they normally would. I don't like that. That can go to hell. That should be stopped immediately. But like, I don't know, going into town, especially when there's tourists and you're like, you can't believe that they're in Ireland for St. Patrick's Day, and they're so overwhelmed by the whole thing. Is you kind of get swept up, and there's actual trad music being played. Not some remix of fucking some Irish song.
So basically, you like being a tourist.
I like being a tourist. Yeah, being a tourist on St. Patrick's Day in Temple Bar, paying $12.50 probably for a pint, is what I want for my St. Patrick's Day, and that's what I'm planning on doing today. Yeah. So like, I don't know. I think we're two different people on the fence for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, not. I just don't like going places. I don't like dealing with people.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about St. Patrick's Day is the bar, is the getting to the bar, getting a drink from the bar. That's it. Yeah, when you're in a place where you're basically have to rub off 100 people's backs, you have to go either ass, chest, or whatever, groin, ass, or like then you go like groin. You have to kind of mix your way through people like that. Get to a bar and you do that with like a full pint without spilling it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a fan. And
then you have like Aegis sitting at the bar, just like, I'm gonna stay here and just fucking take up space. There should be like, here, move on there. Got your pint, go.
You got your pint, now fuck off.
Now fuck off. They're just sitting at the bar drinking pints and like, get out of there. I'm trying to get a pint. We're not only going to be talking about St. Patrick's Day, just in case people are going, if this is going to be the show, we have other things. We have a very typical show.
Yeah, as always.
Yeah. Simpsons has an interesting character that's caused a lot of controversy. We'll be talking about that. The police, NYPD, they just miss out on our Idiots of the Week, but they're very, very close. And the world's most famous troll has made Idiots of the Week. Elon Musk, of course.
I was going to say Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll talk about that in the thing, because there's a very interesting fight. I'll see if I can get you on the card, Ken. And a guy that I think will be just nicknamed Florida Met Man has made our Idiots of the Week. And this is a story that both me and Ken has got. And you know that show... Was it called America's Dumbest Criminals, or was it just called Dumbest? Yeah,
America's Dumbest Criminals.
He would appear on this. He would definitely have been on the show. But
100%.
He actually got Florida cops to be able, hey, we actually do provide this fully free service, and if anybody else wants to take part in this service, we'll be happy. We'll drive around and we'll do this for you, no problem. But he probably wishes he didn't. I'm pretty sure he kind of regrets the idea. He probably sobered up and gone, why did I do that to myself? Yeah,
well, what was I thinking?
But I have actually a very funny anecdote story to this. It's I wouldn't say it's similar, and something that my family hate me doing, because I have apparently relatives that listen to my podcast that we talk about on a regular basis now, and they're like, stop telling stories about us on your podcast. So I have a kind of an interesting anecdotal story for...
Stop saying we're in a yoga cult, Mark.
Stop talking about fucking porn stars. People will think you're weird. Too late. The ship has sailed. Anyway. So we'll go on to The Simpsons. Did you have you seen this story at all, or has it passed you by?
No, I haven't seen it.
I thought it was going to be more than what it was, in terms of the whole episode is Simpsons are going to do a cancelled episode. This is where Homer Simpson gets cancelled, and people are kind of losing their shit over it. Probably want this episode cancelled before it gets out.
Do you know, just right there, do you know what's going to be funny about that?
What?
So I'm assuming they're going to be taking the piss out of cancel culture.
Yeah.
Which they bought into themselves by...
Cancelling Apu. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They're doing a parody of something that they've already done. So I think the title of it is going to be called "You Won't Believe What This Episode Is About." Act 3 will shock you, and it sees Homer Simpson get cancelled. Now, the reason he gets cancelled is because he's neglecting Santa's little helper, the family dog, and I think he also punches Reverend Lovejoy.
But you know, like choking Bart for the last 30 odd years is fine.
I don't know if he punches Reverend Lovejoy or he might punch him out a window. So it's kind of like maybe it's the whole mod thing again.
They're doing this angle again.
Yeah, and basically sees Homer Simpson get cancelled, and fairly recognizable podcaster is going to be on The Simpsons. It's going to be in this party, and it's of Joe Rogan. It's not going to be his likeness, and they're not going to use his name, but it's going to be a party character of Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And people are giving him shit over it, saying like that, like he won't even know this will have happened. He'll be too high, and then he'll be like, "I once had a dream where I was in The Simpsons."
Turned out it was DMT.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I always thought this is the sign that you've made it as a celebrity. If The Simpsons know who you are and you end up in their show, you are famous. You are a star. Like this to me, when I was growing up, was the pinnacle of being famous. I was on Simpsons. Simpsons had me in an episode, was everything, because everybody was being in it.
Yeah, I don't think it is anymore though. I don't think it's like as
much of an honor.
Yeah, as cool as it used to be.
Well, I don't know. I would say ratings of Simpsons probably went down a good bit over the last few years. It hasn't really been able to really compete with modern adult cartoons, and I guess younger kids probably are not as big as a fan of the show.
Yeah, like I don't know if young kids really watch it anymore.
Yeah, so like I think this might be just a way of bringing people back in. Like he's such a popular like podcaster that even hinting that he's going to be on the show, people are like, "Oh, I'll definitely watch it to see what they do in order to kind of like slag him off."
What are they going to do to piss off Joe Rogan?
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, like, I remember saying, like, if they like you, they'll get you to do a character and they'll bring you in and they'll get you to voice it. But if they don't like you, they won't use you at all. They won't use your name. They'll just slag you off and slag you off. So I don't know if there's hinting at like, we don't actually like Joe Rogan, but we're just going to slag him off because he's popular.
Yeah, we're just going to take the piss out.
I guess he only can punch up now.
Yeah, true.
So like, he's kind of a safe target for people because I don't think he was really going to care if Simpsons slag him off or say mean things about him. And he's and people are going to be like, "Stop fucking slagging Joe. You can't do that."
Leave Joe alone.
Yeah, see, people aren't going to do that. Apparently, there was an episode that they've dealt with cancel culture better than this before, but I didn't actually do that much research in it, the whole thing.
Yeah, well, they can't really. I think it's a bit hypocritical that they're like slagging cancel culture when they're doing it themselves.
Yeah, exactly. When they cancel Apu, which are like, there's a lot of Indian people or people who come from Indian descent. Were kind of like, what do you mean this is an inappropriate character? And like saying that Apu was actually a strong 3D character. Like he was a good father, a loving husband, ran his own business. Like there isn't too much to dislike about the message about Apu, other than
he's unkillable.
Yeah, other than thank you, come again. Like he had a catchphrase that caught on.
Poor old poo.
I think Homer Simpson is more of a negative character of possibly a bald white man who strangles his kids and neglects
Not even
any.
bald white man. Like he's a negative character for fathers.
Well, yeah, and thinking about a lot of people. I've seen a lot of feminists talk about how women are portrayed in cartoons. There's I think the Hey Arnold. There's someone wrote a paper how all girls are seen as narky. True, and they went through Marge Simpson, that girl from Hey Arnold, Helga, and then Fairly Odd Parents. I think one of the female is kind of narky in it, saying that women are always described as narky, and I was like, but you're complaining about it.
Yeah,
but you are angry about this, are you?
At the same time, though, male characters are always portrayed as being stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Even The Simpsons had a full episode of where every male Simpson was an idiot. Yeah, they start out really smart, and then they get to adolescence, and they turn into fucking crayon eaters.
Yeah.
So I kind of, yeah, and even Homer, and even a lot of parents in cartoons, the dad is seen as kind of oh yeah, whatever, and mother's kind of seen the one left kind of raising them. And I'm not saying that there isn't a huge amount of truth in that. There's probably is a pool of evidence to see where they came from. They're not picking it out their holes, but it's still a bad look for male characters in cartoons as well. So I kind of feel for cancel, if we're going to be nitpicking at every cartoon, we can't do humor, we can't do stereotypes. So people go, no, we can't do stereotypes. That's the point. But yeah,
Mark loves a good stereotype.
What?
Mark loves a good stereotype.
Yeah, but that's the fun of laughing at yourself. Some of my favorite episodes of Simpsons is of characters, the Australian episode.
The Australian episode is good.
Yeah, exactly. And I that is slagging off Australia, but it's funny about it. Even the Irish episode where they're talking about Ireland used to be this. I don't know if that was Simpsons, but there was this really advanced civilization, and then they discovered alcohol. I think it was Family Guy, to be honest with you. They had hover cars, and then it was hey, what's this called? Whiskey? That's hilarious. That's funny. I like that. I'm not offended an Irish person going, this is a disgrace. It's hard to tell where our alcoholism. You don't need you slagging us off.
Where's my point?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't really get it. I don't know why people are bending to it anymore as well, because I think actually Joe Rogan proved that and Spotify has proved that you can kind of get away with it. People just casually forget about stuff. Rogan was saying the N-word this, the N-word that, monkeys this, monkeys that, COVID, and then people are hey, you can't say that, get out here. And then Spotify were no, we're just getting them to cut down on the N-words, and we'll just have a disclaimer for the COVID thing, and there we go. He's going to promise not to use the N-word anymore, and we're just going to continue on. And then people are okay, fair enough.
People do generally have very short memories.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of feel people get kind of swept up in this wave of cancel culture, but once you get once you kind of get over it, people are just people move on to the next target. People go, oh, Putin's the bad guy now. Putin's the bad guy now. I'm going to follow this thing. This is the most interesting thing. Or Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea Football Club is a shiny object. Yeah, so what do you think of it?
I do think people are really, really fucking fickle with things. There's, I've seen somebody, those temporary Facebook profile things.
Yeah.
I seen one the other day, and it was fucking hilarious. It made me laugh. It was a guy had it just said, "I care about the current thing." Yeah.
I think Elon Musk shared that hours before our 80s of the week thing.
That's definitely the way people are.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, oh, I really need to support the Ukrainian people. I know. I'll put their flag on my profile. That will help.
Yeah, like people are just like, I don't know, fickle.
Yeah, your thoughts and sentiments doesn't do jack shit when people are bombing your fucking city.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are kind of just like the newest thing will get outraged altogether about, and I kind of feel like, yeah, Joe Rogan's literally proven that. As was like, as long as people don't bend to it, and same with all the comedians on Netflix. Netflix are kind of like, yeah, okay, we're not like get it. And then there's a protest with their in their offices, and they're like, well, we're not going to do it. So like, you can quit.
You just fuck off.
Yeah, and we'll get somebody else to do your job, or you can just suck up. And like, there is a whole kind of this. We just need adults at the table here. Go, no, we're not canceling Joe Rogan. He said sorry. We're gonna move on. We're not gonna get rid of a poo. He's a good character.
There is that argument for like, if something offends you, just don't watch it.
Yeah, there is a whole thing is just turn it off. Just click on something else. And I know when we had like 5 stations, people are kind of, well, I can't. There's none on the other 4 stations. But now we have like unended.
But that's the thing. There still is stuff on the other station.
Yeah, you can watch that. Put on Eurosport. Watch skiing.
Like growing up, I remember Ireland only had 2 stations when I was growing up.
Yeah, 5 was luxury.
Like there was 2 when I was growing up, and it was like, if you don't like what's on one, watch what's on 2.
Yeah, or turn it off and read a book.
Like,
or go to the pub.
Like, job done.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, now we're just kind of like, that's what I remember. Was it Sharon Osbourne was kind of saying that? It was just like when people were giving about the Osbournes years ago, and they're like, she's like, you don't have to watch it. Like, you just turn the station. If you put it on and it's not your cup of tea, just turn the station. There you go. So it's a miracle cure.
I do hate Sharon Osbourne though.
Yeah, no, I do hate her as well. But that's a different story for a different day.
Yeah, she's a little bit of a cunt.
Yeah, so Ken, an influencer, has made money by not farting in a jar this week.
By not farting in a jar.
Or having a shower.
They're the fool, aren't they?
They're the fool. And she possibly could make a lot of money as well. She could make £23 million in a lawsuit. See, this is a new trick. Now you just have to sue people over stuff. You have to get something that you can sue someone over, and you get money. And this lawsuit is gonna entail. And she probably has a pretty open and shut case for defamation.
Right.
Police face a 23 million lawsuit after using an influencer's photo for a wanted photo poster even. So it was kind of a bit of clickbait, this story, because when I clicked into it and I told you about off air, I was like, I thought the exact same thing you said to me was, well, was she wanted for police though?
Yeah. And
apparently she wasn't, so that's why she can sue them over. Because I was like, if an influencer can sue a person for using their photo on that they posted on Instagram for like police wanted, we're in a weird situation here. This is probably a bigger problem. But no, it was this case of mistaken identity, and because of the internet, this could possibly be a very costly mistake for the police.
How did that happen?
We'll get into it anyway. So Eva Lopez, she's 31, and she was enjoying her holiday in Florida last August when she caught a sight of a wanted poster of her on it. Now Lopez is a bartender, a fashion influencer, and she was doing posing for a nightclub in this photo that she was taken at. And the poster was kind of revealing. like they're definitely painted her of what they wanted to paint her as, in terms of like people look at the poster and go, yeah, she definitely did it, kind of a thing. It was because she's chest enhanced, let's say.
And what's she wanted for?
Okay, we'll get into it. But she's chest enhanced. She was wearing very skimpy clothes in this poster that they're using her for. So you can kind of get what I'm getting them. What happened was a guy claimed that his roommate, which is the funny part of this, his roommate ordered an escort, Ken. Not him, his roommate.
Yeah, definitely not him.
And this is what he's going to be telling his wife as well. His roommate ordered this escort. Now, it definitely was not him.
Technically, then isn't his wife his roommate?
Well, see, this is what I'm kind of getting under. I was like, well, why does it? Well, maybe he doesn't want to get arrested for ordering a prostitute. Let's call a spade what an escort is. So basically, he says his roommate ordered this escort to the room. While she was in the apartment, she allegedly took a Rolex watch worth £13,000 and a Chase credit card, which she used without any permission. So, like, that's the thing I found funny about this. Is like, first of all, he obviously ordered this escort himself. I would imagine, and then it was like, well, I can't snitch on myself. I can't ring the police and go, here, I ordered an escort and she fucking stole from me, or he wanted to pay by card, and realized his partner would see on the credit statement that he ordered a fucking prostitute or an escort. So could go down to like whatever escort limited.ie or .com because it's America. .org possibly.
It would have been very, very expensive if it was .ie.
Yeah, so I think she was in Queens at the time of the incident, not in Manhattan. And after she contacted NYPD, they already knew about the fact that the error was made, and they said they took down the poster immediately. But it was a little bit too late, because since she is a well-known figure, she has 862,000 followers on Instagram, and the post just went viral straight away. So it got shared between 10,000 and 20,000 times, and then blog post sites wrote blogs about her being wanted. And even though the police had since retracted the wanted photo and said that they're not looking for her, the damage was already done, and the original thing was still being circulated as fact that they still wanted her. So she had claimed that it damaged her reputation, damaged her as in her local community, damaged her reputation in terms of where she works, as well as damaged her business, being herself. And that's why she is looking for 23 million in the lawsuit.
Makes sense.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing about the internet. As soon as you post that in there, you can't really take it back. People are going to screen grab it. People are going to share it. It's going to be like at least probably 10,000, 20,000 times. And then if people want to write posts about it, and even after, like I said, people are still making posts claiming that she was wanted for being an escort.
Like, how did they fuck up and get the wrong photo?
So according to her, East Village detective called Kevin Dower was reportedly explained that the victim showed her photo of her to police and said, "This is the girl who my roommate used." Would have had to be probably in the. He would have to be in the apartment at the time that he ordered the apartment, just so happened had his Rolex watch and card lying about on the like apartment like table or something while he was in his room, trying not to hear his roommate allegedly riding this escort. But yeah, maybe his roommate is imaginary, like his story. Like I said, definitely don't believe it. And like, if the police or his wife believes it, they deserve to be on Idiots of the Week as well.
It's perfectly plausible.
Well,
that this happened.
That he'd left his Rolex and his credit cards just lying around his apartment.
Yeah.
Was in his room at the time. Came out to get a glass of water, seeing what she looked like. Or maybe he was on the couch with him when he's ordering her. And got, all right, I think I have an idea of what she looks like. Here's what she looks like, and showed a picture of her, and that's how the original mix-up happened. Basically, goes, this is her. So they're like, all right, we'll use that photo. But in the photo, she was posing for a nightclub, and then they picked the photo to make her look like what an escort might look like as well. They didn't really use the most flattering photo of her.
Did she not kind of do that herself though as well?
There probably was other photos though. There
probably was other photos, but you could probably say that she made herself look that way herself.
Yeah, but in terms of that's how she probably makes her living is her using her looks, and it's okay to do that for herself. But when police are trying to I'd imagine story that she's an escort.
I imagine she's going to get a lot of money.
Oh yeah, this is a very easy open and shut defamation case. Even for the US, that's very easily proving that it caused actual harm to her reputation in her local community, or whatever the stipulations for it is in the US. Ireland has extremely easy defamation cases. Ireland, you just have to prove it could possibly have caused harm to a person's reputation. So it doesn't even have to cause harm, but it just could have had the intent to cause harm to their character in the local community.
So when do we get all the money, Mark?
When do we could get awfully sued? We're probably alleging here if we ever had accidentally used the person's name when I'm talking about them. Well, any proof?
We had accidentally slagged off somebody.
Any proof? Yeah.
Allegedly.
I don't think we did though. I don't think we used his name.
I think he'd argue with that.
I think we also use his address actually. Yeah. No, we should move on.
Just in case.
To our idiots of the week. Now this is part of the show created for idiots, by idiots, and it's basically where we talk about people doing dumb things. And like I said, the NYPD could have just nearly missed it out on idiots of the week.
Yeah.
It was very close.
Yeah, well, yeah, we probably still could have included them. We probably could have even said that they're honorary idiots.
Yeah, I don't think people necessarily would have, but then we would have had pretty much...
But then you have to ask the question, is it actually NYPD that are the idiots, or is it the guy reporting it?
See, even though his story was flaky as fuck and very hard to believe that his roommate and not himself called police, but let's believe his story and let's not call him a liar. Let's say this did happen to him, and he had an order this escort. At least he didn't call it for a very believable. At least he didn't say, "Here, I had an escort." He had a cover story basically. He went to before ringing the police. He had a cover story.
Yeah, what more could you want?
Yeah, which is probably what we cannot say about our first idiot of the week. And
right, who's our first idiot?
This is a man from Florida who called the police or cops or Gardaí, well, it definitely wasn't Gardaí, for demanding that they test his meth after complaining that he had been sold a fraud and that in fact that he'd bought bath salts only for the officers who charge him for possession of methamphetamines after it came back that he actually had bought meth off that drug dealer in the bar.
Did you know a similar thing to this happened in Dublin a couple of years ago?
Oh yeah, go on, do tell.
Yeah, a guy went into I can't remember exactly what Garda station was, but a Garda station up in town, and he walked in with a bag of cocaine.
Yeah.
And he's like, "This isn't getting me as high as it should get me."
The fact that you're in a Garda station right now, I'd imagine it is. But okay, go on, do tell.
Yeah, well, like obviously they ended up like arresting him and whatever, but like, so
Yeah.
it's not as rare of an occurrence as you would imagine it is.
Yeah, but apparently drugs make you paranoid. And who do you go to? Who do you turn to when somebody tries to wrongdo you? It is the police. This is obvious logic. Why is this man not even on Idiots of the Week? Yeah. So I think it's what is a Henry County Sheriff's Department on Friday at 7 p.m. A guy walks in called Thomas Eugene Colucci. Colucci, I think it is, and who believed he was sold a fraud. He said he was in the bar, and so he's trying to buy methamphetamines. That he had methamphetamines, and he's a regular drug user even, and he's had methamphetamines before, so he knows what he should be feeling, and he just wasn't feeling it. It just wasn't the same feeling that he was getting. And he was believed that the guy who he bought the methamphetamines off in the bar actually sold bath salts, and it wasn't actually methamphetamines.
Yeah, and he was fully convinced that he was doing a public service.
Your man was doing a public service?
Yeah, that's what he said. He said like when they were like, this is a police station, whatever. His response was, "I'm doing a public service to others so that they don't get ripped off by this dealer."
So the officer says, "Yeah, we'll test your meth for you, see if it is." So they send officers to his house, and they tested it, and it was in fact methamphetamines, in which he was then arrested for having drugs. He was also arrested for having drug like paraphernalia, and he was set a bond of $7,000. Ken. So like, what do you do there in that situation? Like, if you were police and this guy walks in, you get this call, you mustn't be like, I actually do not believe this story one bit. Like, all right, is this a piss take? Because, okay, we'll go over the house anyway. We'll see if it's a piss take. It's more than likely not. Oh, fuck. This guy is fucking, this guy is actually real. Okay, you're under arrest. Did your man know he was going to be arrested though? That's about like, was he shocked by the fact? Well, why are you arresting me?
I'd say he probably was shocked.
Or was he kind of like, okay, fair enough. Well, at least I know he wasn't actually selling me a crod.
I'd say he was completely shocked.
Yeah, but the police have said they will be actually we'll be happy to carry this free public service for anybody who wants to test their methamphetamines. Give them a call. They'll send police over straight away to test to make sure that you, in fact, do have methamphetamines. And if you do, they will then arrest you for your methamphetamines. You absolute tick fuck. But I actually had a similar story.
That's what you're going to say. Yeah, a similar experience.
No, a similar story about my family, or someone in my family, one of my sisters. So when we were younger, they used to rob alcohol from my parents' liquor press or alcohol press, and then top it up with water, in order to disguise that they'd taken the vodka from or the Blue Wicket from the house, and like. My dad used to like mark it in a secret way, so like he would know if someone had actually robbed the vodka, and then try to top it back up, or not. He'd like have a little mark on it, and he'd go, "Oh, that's different." And one of my sisters came back and was like, so I think she'd left a nagging of vodka on the counter table, and she couldn't believe that no one had drank her vodka. They said, I left that over the weekend. Someone was definitely drank my vodka. So instead of like opening it and sniffing it to make sure that it still smelled like vodka, she goes, "No, I'm going to pour this down the drain because I know what in fact is in this vodka is water." and she poured all the vodka down the drain, and the stink of vodka in the room. She's just like, "Oh my God." And then she was like shocked that her vodka was now gone, and proceeded to call us arseholes.
So she left it there.
She'd left it there.
She didn't check it, but you're the arseholes.
She didn't check it. Believed that we had drank her vodka and just did what she always does, which is just top it up with water. And she'd often complain that she'd be taking vodka from the press so much and topping it back up with water that it would dilute it, and she'd forget that, oh yeah, that's just the one with all the water in it. Yeah, so like, I guess ordinary people could make this mistake as well. This can be a very common thing. Well, did you ever do that? Try to trick your parents to steal alcohol or something? Was you
No.
No. Were you kind of, you got a beard quite early on and was able to, so you probably just could just buy alcohol.
I never really had to steal alcohol.
Yeah.
Well, like, my parents were kind of like, they weren't really strict with drink. Like, they were like, okay, you're 16. If you want to drink, you can drink. Just let us know that you're drinking.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember. My parents have a similar line in terms of, like, I think more later on. Like, I think my sister might have been, like, she was keeping it in the house, and I don't think she was 18 at the time. Like, and then she just poured it down. I think when they're stealing their alcohol, they're like, "Hey, get your own stat."
Yeah, like my dad told me a story when he was small. Like, him and his siblings used to steal alcohol from my granddad and my nanny, but it was only like you're talking like Ireland in the 60s. Like, it was like sherry. It wasn't like vodka and stuff.
Yeah, I used to know people who were really strict, and they used to drink mouthwash because it had alcohol in it, and they'd bring out mouthwash with them.
Oh, Jesus!
Like, I was like, you fucking creatures! How did you not get instant diarrhea? I don't know if that would give you diarrhea. It would probably just make you puke.
Oh, that's just fucked up.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know. I don't think I actually stole too much or any even alcohol when I was a kid. I think I was a good boy.
You're only saying that because a relative of yours listens to the podcast.
Yeah, that's a good boy. I didn't do anything. That's my naughty sister.
Dude, this is the story that my sister did. Definitely wasn't me.
Can I point you to the escort story you just thought up? And previous ideas to make a homemade coffee grinder automatic. We actually have another idiot of the week, and it's Elon Musk.
Yeah, Elon Musk.
Whoever knew, like, this visionary inventor could also be the giant troll. I wonder if all the other great inventors and minds of our time were actually alive during, like, Twitter era. Would they be the same? Would they have been tweeting the nonsense that Elon Musk tweets and becoming
maybe,
a giant troll?
Like, I think that Stephen Hawking, like, taking the piss.
Yeah, maybe they just poking fun at people, going. Elon Musk's latest thing was first. He kind of hours before tweeting that he wanted to fight Vladimir Putin for Ukraine, and he actually did it in part of it in Russian. He kind of did it in the dialect of Russian letters. He did it in Ukraine, and I think he also called out Vladimir Putin, like what his name would look like in Russian writing.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, fair enough. He went a little bit of an effort.
he put in the effort.
He put a tiny bit. He did before that. He just kind of maybe made fun of people who were using the Ukrainian flag on their Twitter handle, or put a Ukrainian flag on their kind of, on Twitter you can have kind of emojis beside your handle. So a lot of people had put a Ukrainian flag on their handle just to show support for Ukraine. And so he he put up a photo of kind of a figure holding Ukrainian flag, and it says, "I support the current thing." And I think you kind of made reference to this before the podcast, saying I seen it, or maybe it was on the podcast. I seen this thing being circulated, and yeah, so he was circulating that as well. Then hours later, he's like, "No, actually, I'm going to fight Putin for Ukraine in combat." So then, like, kind of, I think it was some kind of space astronaut person Russian thing was like. Used something about him being weak and being like getting like
he's the leader of Chechnya.
Yeah, and it's like you need to come over to Chechnya, and he goes, "Oh, well, that'll give me too much of an advantage. I'll fight him with one hand tied behind my back and only use my left hand, and I'm not even left-handed in that." And he goes, he can even use his bear. And then I think he changed his name to Ilana.
I think, I don't know, Elon Musk would get killed by Vladimir Putin.
Oh yeah, like he trained in Sambo. He's a black belt in judo. Yeah, like I think he is 73 though. I think Vladimir Putin. I think he's in his 70s. I think Musk.
Is he?
Yeah, I think Musk is about like maybe early 50s. So, like, I know he hasn't done any, he just doesn't do any exercise. I wouldn't imagine with his work schedule. I think he works like 80 hours a week. Are you Googling what age Putin is? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I gotta look up.
I'm pretty sure he's 73.
I'll look it up, see how old he is.
One of the funnier things he used, I think, in this whole
69.
thing. Vladimir Putin's 59.
69.
Oh, 69. All right.
Yeah.
No, not too far off, but like I'm pretty sure he probably would be offended me calling him 73.
He probably would. Like, he seems to take offense over everything.
The slightest thing.
Over people insulting him, countries trying to remain sovereign. You know?
Yeah, he's easily annoyed at the least thing. We probably have to make a public apology.
He seems to take offense quite easily.
I will point out that I have a long line history of misaging people, by the way, though.
And getting banned from... Oh, you're now banned from Russia.
Yeah, first person's apartment, now a giant country. Landmass. He even like photoshopped Putin riding a bear alongside beside him shooting his flamethrower, or not a flamethrower, and he's like, "Choose your fighter." So he's just now trolling Russian people. But like, he's kind of walking some kind of weird line. First of all, he made fun of people trying to like show support for Ukraine. And then he's like, "I'll fight Putin, actually. I'll go one step further than this. I'm going to offer to fight for Ukraine." But like even before that, he has this new like an internet company called Starlink. And he actually basically opened it up for Ukraine to use. He actually opened up days, kind of a test for Ukrainian to use so they could have internet.
Yeah, like, I don't know what he's trying to achieve by slagging people that are like... I know what he's kind of getting at. He's getting at people that are just like virtue signaling.
Yeah, I think he's like...
idiots.
I think he's
But,
just
like,
kind of
he's
like
doing
rising people as
that-
well. Especially if he's like have ambitions to sell rockets for space missions. And like, I'm pretty sure he's probably not going to piss off one of the countries that use rockets a lot as well. Like, staying like kind of neutral for this probably would be the best thing for Elon right now, and just like waiting for it to all blow over. And then, you know, in a few years' time, if Russia needs a rocket that can land itself, he goes, "Hey, I think I'm allowed to sell you this."
Or is he part of the conspiracy, Mark?
What conspiracy, Ken?
I don't know. I've seen a conspiracy. I'm not even going to go into it. I've seen a conspiracy about it.
But yeah, now there's a equally popular troll called Logan Paul. Was also kind of trying to get chiming in this, because if I get 10,000 retweets, I'm going to make this fight happen in a boxing match between Elon Musk and Vladimir Putin. And he's going to put it on, and it's going to be, I think he said, was somebody fighting somebody else. It was, and then he's going to fight McGregor. Kanye West was going to fight somebody, and
It's probably Pete Davidson, is it?
yeah, probably. And then it was going to be Conor McGregor versus him in a MMA match if he can get 10,000 retweets, as if this would actually go ahead. But since we're just throwing fiction around this, why don't we, the Shite Podcast Show, contact Logan Paul now and go, hey, we have a guy who wants to step in against Machine Gun Kelly, make this happen.
Yeah, I'd fight Machine Gun Kelly.
Ken versus Machine Gun Kelly, host of the Shite Podcast Show, and whatever Machine Gun Kelly is known for, probably being Megan Fox's boyfriend.
Yeah, or being a fucking gimp.
And you could get yourself into this match. What would be your stipulations?
It has to be to the death.
Yeah.
And
are you allowed a weapon?
Whatever. You can bring whatever he wants with him. I'm gonna just fucking smash his head in.
Okay, Ken's just going to use his bare knuckles and his...
I'm going to use a rock and a sock.
He could use like a knuckle duster. I don't know how well rock and a sock's going to do against a knuckle duster, Ken.
Rock and a sock is going to do better against a knuckle duster than a knuckle duster.
I don't know if he's very lanky arms. He could probably throw a good few punches, and let's face it, Ken, you don't have cardio.
Yeah, but you've better range.
You have
with
shit
rock and
cardio, Ken. You need to
You've
do
better
more
range
strength and
with
conditioning
rock and a sock.
classes.
Rock and a sock, better range.
You only have a short amount of time to finish this fight.
Yeah, be fine.
Go in fast, go in hard.
Yeah,
Die early.
yeah.
That's my advice. Now he might know this advice and go, I'm going to play with him. I'm going to keep on the outside. I'm going to gas him.
Do you not remember what our old coach used to say? We don't fight for pints.
Kick him in the nuts is also another thing you could do.
Twist his dick. Did you see that video?
Twist his dick.
Did you ever see that or no?
No.
There's a guy in like an MMA fight. And he just keeps shouting, twist his dick.
I wonder if somebody has actually tried to use that in an actual like street fighter. Like, I'll defend myself by grabbing their nuts. Probably, I'd imagine so. That's probably a go-to thing.
I've seen like fucking self-defense courses that are advocating that. If you're getting choked from behind,
grab their nuts.
Grab his nuts
and pull on it. Grab his dick and pull on it.
Yeah, like that's all well and good, except I don't think your brain really goes that way.
Yeah, you're getting choked. Grab his dick and pull on it. Pull on it really hard, repeatedly, up and down.
Whatever you're into, Mark.
This is my self-defense.
So you like to be choked while pulling on somebody's dick?
I even have this, you know those shaker things that are meant to like tone your arms?
Oh, shake weight.
Yeah. Hey, here's this handy tool you can do reps with, so you can get the feel for it. You
ever see the South Park?
What?
The South Park episode with them is brilliant.
Yeah, where it like shoots moisturizer in their face or something like this.
Yeah. South Park.
Yeah. I couldn't actually believe that actually was a thing. Used to be on like those infomercials, you know, when it's like TV just tells you to go to bed. It's just like, here's online shopping. Go to bed, please. There's nothing else on.
2:00 in the morning. There you go. This is what you want in your life.
And you're like, what is this? Why are people? Will people buy this? Is this a thing? Apparently, it is.
Yeah, apparently it's really popular.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. It's also self-defense drilling tool.
Drilling tool, huh?
Yeah. Anyway, I think we'll leave it there. Don't take any of our self-defense advice we gave you.
Except grab his dick and twist it.
Grab his dick. Stamp his feet.
Re-stomp the groin.
Re-stomp the groin, yeah. Actually, yeah, we'll finish with that self-defense. Re-stamp the groin. Or don't get into a situation. Avoid all situations. Become a hermit.
Where's the fun with that? Become a hermit.
Yeah.
The guy who wants to go out tonight.
I'm not taking that advice. I'm personally not.
What's your plan for today, Mark? I'm going drinking.
Go and drink with 500 of my closest friends. I haven't met them yet, but they'll be great crack, I'm sure. We'll do shots of Baileys.
Shots of Baileys?
Oh, yeah, I just remember these Canadians meeting me and my friend before in a pub. We had met them before, and we were meant to meet these girls. And we were on our holidays. We were in like Iceland, and we went to the bar, and we're like, "Oh, message them, say we're in this bar if they want to meet us for a drink. If they don't, we'll just have a few drinks here." Yeah, and then across from us there was this Canadian couple, and they were lovely. And we got chatting to them. We were showing them what Ireland was. He loved Ireland, and they're like, "Oh my God, we're going to come to Ireland." We're like, yeah, come to Ireland. We'll bring you on a night out and all this. And they're like, cool. And they ended up buying us drinks for the entire night. And they bought us like this craft beer we were drinking and shots of Baileys was the thing. They kept offering to buy us shots of Baileys. So we were all doing shots of Baileys with them. We counted on our way back home that they spent $200 on us. It's very expensive to drink in Iceland. It's like €11 a pint, and they bought us a good bit of drink, and we didn't put our hands in their pocket for the entire thing, but they kept buying us shots of Baileys. Yeah.
Iceland's good crack though.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice. You kind of need a car. That's the only thing, or a camper van would be ideal to see it properly.
Shots of Baileys though, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, do you know what? I wouldn't have necessarily picked it as my favorite shot, but it's kind of smooth and soft, so you can kind of drink it. You kind of can take shots of it and not feel like you're going to throw up.
I was kind of more thinking, who the fuck does shots of Baileys?
And no one can, but they didn't know that, and they thought that's probably what we do. We do shots of Baileys, and they're like. They're culture appropriating on us, saying, "Yeah, they're Irish. Of course, they drink Baileys, and let's do shots."
Like, this whole day, like it's St. Patrick's Day. This whole day is about cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
Yeah, like let's not appropriate everybody's culture, but it's okay to do it when they're Irish.
Well, we go along with it. We kind of embrace this whole cultural appropriation on ourselves.
That's because people keep buying us free drink.
Exactly. If people buy us free drink, we won't even look for the girls that we met in the pool. You can be our friends.
Yeah, you should go to go to New York for St. Patrick's Day. That's a bit of crack.
Oh, they get free Baileys again?
Oh, like everybody will buy all sorts of free shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because all the bars in there, when I was there, they were all Irish people working at them. I was like, well, thanks for killing stereotypes here, lads.
Yeah, like just randomly talk to anybody on St. Patrick's Day over there, and they'll be like, "You Irish? Yeah. Oh, I need to go drinking with you. Okay."
They actually know you because they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" Because they recognise you have a slightly different accent to them, and they're like, "Oh, Ireland." I got that. Oh, my granny uncle is I'm like 10th Irish. It's like, oh.
Yeah, my granddad had a red setter.
Yeah. What do you answer when someone says, I imagine it's not nice? I'm just like, oh, that's cool. I just politely go, oh, great. Just move on. Do you know where? No. It's always a place that I've never heard of as well.
Yeah, or somewhere that doesn't really exist.
Shinnigal?
Yeah, or I remember talking to an American before that told me that they were Michael Collins's great grandson, and I was like, "That's interesting because he didn't have kids
that you know of."
So how did that happen?
Well, he ordered an escort, and she fled the country. Or
I seen another one. There was somebody on a TV show there couple of weeks ago, and they were saying that their fucking great granddad or something was one of the first Irish generals or some shit. So I googled it, and this person didn't exist.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like, you know, everyone's grandparents was into GPO, kind of a thing in Ireland. And anytime you're out drinking, someone goes, "Oh, my father was in the GPO. He was part of the Irish Brother or whatever." In there, and he was a second general in this, and I'm always like, yeah, whatever. Like you, I'm pretty sure some people might have been, if they're from Dublin, there's a sort of a chance that could have been the case, but I'm always kind of skeptical when people are like that, and they're really passionate about it.
If everybody who said they were in the GPO was in the GPO, that
Ireland would be an independent country. Yeah, exactly. That thing would have went a lot differently. Yeah, and on that slight bit of history note for us, we're going to end there. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. See you next week.
Good luck.
No.